Today we are taking a look at the submissions for the December build event on the Discord server. The prompt for this month was build an alien ship, and it is going to be a fast one because we only got 3 submissions and 2 of them are small grid. So let's jump right into it. I'm going to kick things off by looking at the Scythe-C, which was designed by Bluestone Bot. As always, I'll have the name of the creator and the name of the creation up in the top left corner. I'm going to be using the Steam names for people so that you can find them on the Steam Workshop. This is a pretty darn nice looking fighter ship. As far as I can tell, it looks like we've got some hinges on the guns and whatnot. I'm going to try this out in space here. And we're going to actually just plop some targets out there, which will just be more copies of it. Because I think, from what I saw before, these will automatically gimbal and aim at things as you kind of aim in the right direction. So, make another copy of it. I'm always making tons of copies of things. This has a lot of subgrids. It's actually a pretty darn cool ship. We'll go in first person for a little bit. And I'm going to just target lock one of these right away because I know that's something we're going to want. It takes forever to do. But while we're waiting for the target lock to work, it has 2 Gatling guns. It has 4 of these assault cannons, or autocannons, and then 1 assault cannon. It also has a bunch of things on the hotbar here for tilting the guns. You'll be able to see they tilt in just a little bit, and that kind of crosses the fire. I go to the right guns, see the fire crossing up there, and if I tilt them back out, it just aligns them with the ship, which is kind of nice. You can kind of focus fire. And then if I go ahead and I hit number 6, you'll see that the guns will try to aim as well as they can at whatever I have target locked. So whenever I'm close enough range, usually whenever I'm in that circle, the guns will start firing and they'll be kind of aiming themselves just a little bit to make aiming a little easier. I think that's a really cool feature. I'm going to turn that off though, hit 5 here on the hotbar, and you can see I've got some other little options here, which is nice. Got the camera. We also have some stuff on other hotbars. Oops, just jumped out. This is a feature that I actually really love about this ship. I'm going to turn so you can see it in the light a little bit better. There we go. But if we go here, I do believe, is it the 4th, the 2nd page? Either way, you can see it folds up the top and bottom wing and then extends some landing gear. Kind of all just with one button press, which is really neat. Now, if you just want to fly a little bit weird, you can kind of line up your guns over there. And I actually think that's kind of cool because now you've got 3 guns firing from the right side, and you can kind of line up those ones and get a focused beam of fire, which is very neat. I love that you can kind of just choose what you want to do. If you just want to extend the landing gears, you can do that separately as well. Number 7. And they've got a whole bunch of AI blocks on this. So you could set it up to do whatever the heck you wanted, which is really neat. We'll look at what kind of stuff it has in it. Oh my gosh, that's my inventory. Just ignore that. I was setting up my alien ship prior to this. Lots of cameras. There's a camera for each little wingtip. All the hinges, lights. What do we have for tanks? This is a hydrogen ship. So it only has 4 small hydrogen tanks from what I can... Oh, it has a large one. Oh, they really snuck that in there. They have a large hydrogen tank. It must be perfectly right in the middle back here. It's surprising to me that they made something that looks fairly sleek, and it has a large hydrogen tank in it that isn't exposed at all. I think I can see it just a little bit in the back here. I was going to say there's no way they have a large tank in here, but oh yeah, it's not even exposed. And they do, which is really good. So this will last quite a long time. And I want to say it will probably fly on a planet. If this is not heavy armor, which I do not believe it is, it should fly on a planet. Let's take it down there and take it for a test drive on the planet real quick. After we take it for a test drive out here. See how it handles. It's not bad. It's not really a tiny small grid, but it kind of handles like a tiny one. Some people are going to laugh at that and be like, yeah, that's tiny. All my ships are way bigger than that. Yeah. Everyone's standards are different. This feels pretty darn good to fly. I like the gun setup. You also got a nice camera so you can zoom in and aim and do what you want. And it is positioned nicely between the guns, though this is going to be a little bit distracting for some people, the big flashes. That's alright. It's nice for the autocannons, that's for sure. It's a very nice view for those. And because it's right above the assault cannon, you can line things up very nicely with that. And that's just a big flash, and then whatever you hit goes flopping, which is pretty cool. Alright, let's take this down to a planet and take it for a test drive down there. Boom. That was pretty smooth. On the alien planet, and it is flying just fine. Kind of expected that it would, but it's nice to see that my approximations are still correct. What is going on? Ooh, what is it doing? Oof, oof. Okay, a bit of a hard landing. Let's paste another one in. It does have enough lift to fly fairly comfortably on the alien planet. I like that it uses the red. Kind of fits with the alien look. I went for green on mine, but honestly, in Space Engineers, red actually makes a lot of sense for the alien planet and the alien look, which is very cool. Let's try landing this over here, just because we don't have a lot of submissions this month, so I'm gonna do a little bit more test flying than I normally do. Feels pretty good. Can you get in and out of it without a jetpack? Oh yeah, easy. Nice. Take off. Close up your stuff. And fly away. Very cool. I love all the subgrids and whatnot. Total pain to build if you were doing this in survival, but in creative, it's super cool. And it really kind of looks cool to fly around in it. I almost like it more in first person than in third person, because you see your little arms out there doing stuff. Last thing, of course, I want to look at for this one is the PCU and block count. It is 7,008 PCU, 1,320 blocks. Now let's move on to the next one. Our next alien ship is the Half-Life 2 Combine Gunship, and this was built by MysticLinJam. Now, I've never played Half-Life, but based off of how well this is done on the Steam Workshop, I'm guessing this is a pretty good rendition of that ship. It also did look familiar to me, even having not played the game. So, pretty darn good replica. I like it. This bit does spin in the back here. This is a remote-controlled atmospheric ship. I just had to re-record all of this because I realized I had two mics recording. So this is my second time looking at this now, and I took it down to the planets and I couldn't get it to fly very well, but I'll take it down there and I'll show you anyway because it does fly. I'm just thinking that it requires the subgrid thruster control to really work well, and I do not have that set up. I'm not going to set that up because it does work somewhat without it. Pasted a couple of them in because I know that I'm going to crash one. Sure. So we will jump on the back here and we will remote control it. Actually, can I just remote control it from the ground? That'd be nice. What is it? Shift K. Aha, control. Excellent. Makes my life a lot easier. Now, if I hit 9, you'll see that it does take off kind of on its own and the propeller starts spinning. Look at those asteroids up in the sky. Beautiful. All right, now I'm going to jump into the camera and control the thing. The camera has a cool projected HUD. I really like that. The #1 camera. And it moves forwards very quickly. But as soon as I start moving forwards, I start falling out of the sky. And I have no spacebar controlled uplift. So, yeah, it maxes out on power when I push forwards. And then the uplift doesn't seem to have enough to do what it needs to do. Again, if I had a subgrid thruster control, I'm sure that's probably not a problem. But you can see that it does fly around. I can then go and I can control the gun. Unfortunately, the camera is just upside down here, so my controls are all reversed. But hey, it's an alien ship. That feels pretty darn alien. the must be the auto cannon on number 5. Yeah, and the assault cannon on number 6. Kind of neat. I hit 9 again. Yeah, I'm just going to fall out of the sky. It's a little bit unfortunate that I can't really fly this around nicely as is. They renamed all of their blocks, so I'm like, what is this one? Because I'm not familiar with the DLC icons, but this is just a timer block. So they have lots of timer blocks doing different things, and they have a bunch of event controllers too. Of course, they're renamed, so I can't search for them. But it seems like they have a custom setup. See, here's an event controller. They have a custom setup to control the thrusters, not using a script. So these thrusters are being controlled without a script right now. And they're kind of automatic, and they're just making me kind of hover here, which is very interesting. Might be kind of interesting to pick it apart and understand what the heck's actually going on, because they have a vanilla non-script subgrid thruster control going on right now, which is cool. It certainly doesn't work as well as the scripted version, I don't think, though. And I'm running out of, like, I'm maxing power, so I'm falling out of the sky. But it's a super cool ship. We'll look at the PCU and block count. Look at this, look where I am. Because I was just remote controlling it. Perfect. 7,060 PCU, 1,404 blocks. The 404 stands for the instruction manual that I never found. Let's move on to the next one. That brings us to the last ship and the only large grid for this event. This was my submission. It is the X01 Zuper. I just totally randomly picked that name. It has no meaning behind it. But yeah, it's a large grid, and I designed it for sloth aliens. So we're going to just go inside right away, and then we'll fly around the outside a little bit. It's designed for sloths, so there's all these handholds on the ceiling. Everywhere I could put them, at least, there's handholds. Even in here in the doorway, there's little handholds, which is kind of cool. You come inside, you can see the little racks that they would hang from. I just can imagine a bunch of like sentient, sapient sloths crawling around in here and just like freaking out because, you know, their reactor's on fire or something. I think it'd be hilarious and adorable, honestly. So they got this, they got their little stuff. Everything's like a little bit upside down. I wish I could have versions of blocks without English text, but that's just what we're working with. So I did leave it functional, and it does work for humans walking around in it. It actually is not incredibly uncomfortable, which I liked. And we've got some just like weird tube areas that, I don't know, use your imagination. Maybe that's where they go to sleep. They just kind of like go in this tube and do whatever. But yeah, I tried to ground down a lot of surfaces so that I remove the text from them and just kind of leave some weird looking stuff. I don't know. What can you do? Space Engineers doesn't really accommodate alien interiors, but that's what I came up with the vanilla blocks. I use a lot of neon tubes. I really never use neon tubes in my builds, so this was kind of a new experience for me. I really like these little effects that they have. I'm going to use those in the future for sure. But I went for a very tubular design, and I designed it basically to only work in space. It does have a jump drive right up front here in a very exposed location. Another thing that I never do, I actually did a build video for this ship. If you're interested in my thought process on why it ended up the way it ended up, that video is on my main channel. A link for that will be on the end card and in the description. Go check that out if you want to pick my brain a little bit and figure out how I build ships. At least how I build ships that end up strange. Let's take this for a test drive. I'm just going to use the actual ship here instead of copying and pasting because it's the last one. And hopefully I won't have to re-record anything. So I'm going to jump in here and take it for a little flight. Its handling is pretty darn good for a large grid, I have to say. Surprisingly, this is actually larger than a lot of my large grid ships. Not in interior volume, but volume of the exterior. So fairly large. Got a couple guns. This was something that I designed for a mod I'm going to make, a mod that works with the MES system. I'm going to make a bunch of alien ships and have them as encounters. I think that'd be really cool. So this is the first one I built for that. I'm going to build a bunch more. Maybe not a ton, but I think 5 or 6, and then have them only spawn around the alien planet would be kind of cool. And there's some Easter eggs in the ship that if you load it up and putz with it, or if you don't want spoilers and you're playing on our server in the future, hopefully this mod will eventually be live on that, and you'll get to find the Easter eggs out in an organic fashion. But yep, that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like on the outside. Not much else to say about it. It has some production. It does not have a full refinery, but it has a full assembler, a basic refinery, a lot of O2 production, plenty of O2 storage, or hydrogen storage, and O2 storage. So yeah, it's a fully functional ship. You could steal this and make it your own. It is decently defended, but not going to be the most desperate encounter of your day. That was the goal, at least. Well, that is going to be it for these walkthroughs. If you're interested in getting involved in future events, come check out the Discord. It's open to everyone. Build events are open to everyone. I'm not currently running any, but I'm planning to run them again in the future as soon as I get up to date on all these videos from last year's. So hopefully soon we'll be doing more of those, and I'd love to see you out there. Either way, I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.